What's up, motherfuckers? You guys probably won't know me, but I'm the editor that makes a lot of the videos for Vendetta. I'm the one that made the intro for Vendetta, as you saw at the beginning of the video. I've made many intros for the podcast, and I have made 3 of the 6 survivors thus far. Hopefully there's no more, and hopefully I'm not in it. This episode of The Lead Word is very late. It's very, very, very late. And why is it late? Well, besides the fact that Vendetta within the company is working on a video release schedule, it's just so that editors don't really have to go insane over like when they have to do the editing. The real reason why is because I got overbooked and I didn't tell anybody. This video was supposed to go out, I think, last Saturday, so it's actually more than a week old. Sorry, Chad. Sorry, Trey. Did not mean to do that. Seriously, I had some stuff that was outside the company that I had to work on, and, well, the Lead Word didn't really have a release schedule, so that's it. You weren't expecting, like, a different reason, right? So yeah, while I cannot promise that it will never happen again, I can promise that it will happen just as often as it usually does. And by usually, I mean not often. I am trying to get into contact with the many editors that we have. We are actually getting new ones. We lost some old ones. And so we're having the new ones replace them. When in terms of the content that should be shown on YouTube, I've been in talks with Trey about that. And thank God this series is coming up. This series, The Lead Word, is one of the more fun ones that I get to edit for, you know, because I get to add music, and it's only 2 people, and they're just talking about football. All right, enough of the distraction. Let's actually get to this very late episode of The Lead Word. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to The Lead Word. This is one of your hosts, Chad Bauman. With me, as always, is Trey Daubert. Today is Saturday, August 14th. The last episode of the show came out yesterday, actually, if you've already seen that by the time we're recording. Came out on Friday. We had some issues with the video editing. Hunter was on vacation, and then Scotty was supposed to do it, but he got busy with work. The good news is, Trey, unlike other interns, Scotty communicated.
Step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a shame that that's kind of where the bar is, but hey, he's got the bar.
That's absolutely where the bar is. That's absolutely where the bar is.
Just send a message. That's the bar. Send a message. But he did. He told me, I sent it to him, I think, on Tuesday. He told me, hey, I'm busy with work. I'll try to get it done, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, I woke up at 3 p.m. I had a message from Scotty waiting. Hey, I couldn't get to it. I got busy with work again. And I just said, hey, Hunter's, I already talked to Hunter. He's cool. He's back. I'm going to send it over. So Scotty, shout out. Way to be head and shoulders above the competition there, guy. Although non-shout out for everyone else who just can't send a Slack message. I don't know how that works out.
Speaking of Hunter, how do you feel about Hunter? He's been editing the videos for The Lead Word. Do you like what he's doing?
I do. I feel like if Hunter wants to do more, he can do more. I'm not opposed to what he's putting down. I feel like too, that's kind of like, I think Bridget was scared. Like when she didn't do video, she did, Bridget did our the audio version. But I feel like for some reason the interns, they get like scared and they're like, I don't know, shook. And they're like, I don't want to take those risks. Hunter, other interns that might be listening, take the risks. Edit the crap out of the show. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? I mean, you're not going to get fired right off the bat. Maybe you'll get a talking to. I don't know. But that's me.
Well,
that's me. To paraphrase Charlie Murphy on Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle show. I'm a habitual line stepper. I like to find my boundaries. So maybe that's just me.
Speaking of Hunter, again, I sent this in our secret group chat today. I could bring it up, but he's like leading the charge to. I almost feel like he has to have a Vegas invite because we need video people there. So if Hunter just keeps doing a good job, he may find himself there.
Is he? How old is he?
Don't know. Good question. That'll be a factor.
Yeah, I guess it would be. Because I mean, I don't. If we do anything casino related, he can't. Like, you're not even allowed in the casino if you're not 21, right? Like the actual
Fair.
gambling part. Like
we'll have to check how old he is.
You
We'll have to
can
check
go into like the hotel part. You just can't go.
But I don't think these video editors understand the fact that like some of them are gonna have to be there. So like, do a good job now, and you may find yourself there.
But that's the thing. Like, how many video editors do we have? I know. Hunter and Sophie is like the only two that I know.
This is actually
Scotty G, but he like started like last week, so I don't know.
This is actually a good topic, Chad, because I've had quite the approach with this video session this semester. I am hiring all of them. Anyone that comes across my table that can speak like barely is getting hired because we can't have enough of them.
Yeah, they're gonna get hired and fired like 2 days later.
Don't care.
We're gonna run through Survivor.
Don't
Shortest
care.
internship ever.
Right now, Chad, for the fall, we have Hunter. I don't know if the name is Jaime or Jamie, but it's one of those names.
How's it
Scotty? Jaime.
Well, that's how Jamie spells her name.
It is not.
The camel most definitely spells her name Jai.
No, she does not.
She absolutely does because that's how.
No, she absolutely. No, she does not.
Because no, I know for a fact that's how she spells it. Because
she doesn't.
In my phone, the contact is Jamie, but on like Instagram, it's spelled differently.
No,
and I don't know how else you can. I'm gonna go to Instagram right now and look.
We have Scotty, William Wang, and of course the most indispensable employee that we have, Sophie. Sophie's the most irreplaceable employee we have.
Agreed. Okay, no, I'm gonna find this because now I know you're wrong.
The person that runs the store, Jamie. Her name is Jamie.
You're right. I really thought I had you on that one.
No.
No. I could have swore because that's how, or maybe I have it wrong in my phone. Maybe I have Jaime instead of the right way. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna keep hiring them.
What's the since we're talking about hiring people, what's the producer situation look like? What do we got going on there?
Well, I'm going to talk about this a little bit on Monday when Cheese comes out, but I mean, we had an atrocious interview for an audio position, which is such a shame. But
is that the one that you talked about in the Slack?
No, that's a different one.
It's worse than that one?
Yeah, worse than that one.
Wow. Trey, are you just like secretly holding out for Bridget to come back? Is that what this is?
No.
Like if I don't hire someone, eventually Bridget's gonna come back from Europe or Antarctica or wherever she went, and we're gonna.
Technically, I did hire one audio person. I don't know what I want to do with Avery yet, but we have one in the bank, which is good.
I mean, we're remote, man. Bridget, I know she's like in Antarctica or wherever, but they got Wi-Fi. She could produce still.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah.
NFC, AFC South.
We go in AFC or NFC first?
We'll do AFC, alphabetical order. This division stinks, by the way.
I don't know. The Colts might be all right.
And?
I'm trying to think who else. It's Houston, Colts. Who are the other two? Jacksonville. It's 4. Can't remember who the fourth team is.
Houston.
I said Houston. Houston was the second team I said.
Jacksonville,
That's the third team I said.
Tennessee.
Okay, Tennessee. Well, Tennessee's kind of good.
It's not a good division.
I mean, two of the teams are definitely bad. Two of the teams I think are pretty good. I mean, the Colts, they get significantly worse depending on who's playing at quarterback. Carson Wentz, however, not ruled out for week 1. Just saying.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So who the hell knows what's going to happen there?
Have they even played their first preseason game yet?
I don't know, and I almost don't care.
I do. It had big fantasy implications for me.
Well, I'd like to see how maybe Jacob Eason does. Kind of important for him to.
But fantasy-wise, it's
but-
important for me because if they come out and who's the other guy they have? Eilinger's the one getting the start.
He sucks.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying I don't want to come out week preseason.
No, Eason's starting. They said Eason's starting.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
I told you I'd trade you Watson in fantasy. Make me an offer.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
What do you mean?
I would love Watson. I would love to see him play, but I don't know. In the back of my mind, like I just can't trust that the NFL's not gonna like.
Well, eventually they got to make a ruling on the guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, my concern is like, okay, you trade for him, he starts like the first 4 weeks of the season. Everyone gets like the same shit that happened with Ray Rice, where it was like, oh, like we know he hit his wife, nobody gave a shit. Then we see the video a little bit later, and it's like, oh, why did he not get suspended for longer? Like I feel like that's the situation like I'm concerned about with Watson. It's like they're at this point it seems like they're not going to do anything, and then he's going to start playing. People are going to get outraged, and they're going to be like come back and be like, okay, 6-game suspension in the middle of the season. So that's like where my concern is. Which I feel
I don't understand why that could happen, but I mean, we've seen weirder things, so maybe you're not crazy. I wouldn't guess that's the thing that happens, but
I mean, it's same thing happened with like the punter on the Giants that was beating his wife. Like nothing. People got mad about.
Yeah, but that's also a punter. Like I don't think they'll throw a starting quarterback through the ringer, you know?
I don't know, dude. They did it to Ray Rice again. Ray Rice punches his wife months later. Okay, we'll give you like a 1-game suspension. Video comes out. Oh, why is he only suspended for 1 month or 1 game? Like that, like
I feel like
I mean,
the
of course
worst at this point, I could be wrong. But at this point, I think the worst case scenario is that he gets hit with the Zeke Elliott 6-gamer.
Yeah, again, I don't like in the middle of the season.
But I'm saying like if they haven't done anything by now, there's nothing worse that's gonna happen than the 6-gamer that Zeke got.
Yeah, but in the middle of the season, like what?
I have Tyrod too. Tyrod will start the 6 games.
Yeah, for you, if I trade for him, like who the fuck do I have?
I'll give you both of them.
Oh, okay, Mr. Wheeling and I'd rather just start 2 kickers.
No, you wouldn't. Tyrod will be fine if he's the guy. Fantasy wise, because he runs.
I mean, he's not on their team.
Yeah, he is.
He's on the Colts?
No, Tyrod Taylor. Texans.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm getting my may not play for a significant amount of time quarterbacks.
It's like, what's happening here?
I kind of confused Tyrod Taylor and Wentz and Deshaun Watson for a second. That's on me. I don't know, man. Again, for the Colts, it's like they get significantly better or worse depending on who the quarterback is. Obviously, Houston sucks. Even with Watson, they're going to be even if Watson plays, they're going to be a terrible team. Jacksonville, I mean, I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, seeing some clips on Twitter, he's looking pretty good. Probably not going to be a world beater and get him in the playoffs or anything, but and then you have
but here's the funniest thing, Chad. I'm not going to lie. I don't think this will happen, but like there is 5% of me that thinks like something weird could happen. Jacksonville wins the AFC South.
I don't think that at all. I don't.
What if
good enough?
What if the rest of the division is so bad that they win it at like 7 wins?
Tennessee is a playoff team.
I don't know if that's true, which is this is a big topic for the division previews, but I think obviously you feel differently. I don't trust the Titans changing their offensive coordinator. Them losing Arthur Smith to the Falcons. He's the Falcons head coach now. We saw what happened to Atlanta when they lost Kyle Shanahan. We've all just started to believe that, yeah, Ryan Tannehill is that dude, man. Like,
I don't think that at all, but
okay. But the Ryan Tannehill we saw the last 2 years was really, really good. Since Ryan Tannehill has been the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, you can stack his numbers against anybody, and his numbers are awesome. What do you have? 35 touchdowns last year? That's not Ryan Tannehill.
No, not at all. He's an average quarterback. He always has been. He was average with Miami. He
didn't play average last year. He was very, very good. Chad, you know he was like number 4 fantasy quarterback last year, right?
Well, that's because they had their wide receivers were like open by 20 yards every time he dropped back to throw.
Okay.
And not to mention AJ Brown, like you can't discredit the yards after the catch. Like that guy was like dragging linebackers.
Yeah, but
20 yards down the
I think
field.
he had like 8 rushing touchdowns too. He was out of his mind.
I mean, he's always been decently quick. Like he's not like, I mean, I feel like him and kind of Aaron Rodgers, people like they think, oh, they're white guys, they can't run the ball, but they're deceptively fast.
He was actually a pretty good.
Although
Athlete.
Get me wrong, I'm not comparing.
Yeah,
Tannehill's athleticism to Rodgers'. I'm just saying there's a perception
he was
that
starting, or not a start. He was he was recruited as a wide receiver at Texas A&M. He's a pretty good athlete.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a perception on those guys like, oh, they can't run, but they're pretty deceptively fast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know this, you know that. I mean, other people, they're like, oh, Ryan Tannehill can't run the ball, but that's not true. He can. He's got a good little bit of wiggle to him. But I mean, like I said, Tennessee's whole offense is just fucking hand the ball to Derrick Henry and let him run forward. How hard is that?
I know. But their new offensive coordinator, his name is Todd Downing. He's only been an offensive coordinator for 1 year in his life. You remember the year the Raiders went to the playoffs, or were like 12-4, and Derek Carr broke his leg?
Thumb, didn't he?
Huh?
Do we need to call Chick? I thought it was his thumb.
I thought he hurt his leg.
I don't know. I know he got an injury and then they sucked in the playoffs. I thought he hurt his
throwing hand. Do you remember that year?
I remember that year, but like I said, I think he hurt his throwing hand.
Well, that year they went 12-4. Bill Musgrave was the offensive coordinator. They fired him. They promoted this guy, Todd Downing. Todd Downing was the offensive coordinator the following year. The next year they were 6-10 and fucking awful. I'm not saying that Todd Downing is a bad offensive coordinator because I don't believe we have enough information to know that's a fact. But I don't know how anybody can sit here and not be a little bit concerned.
Like I said, their scheme isn't a hard one. It's literally
I don't know. How do we know we're getting the same scheme?
I mean, there might be differences, but at the same time, it's literally all you got to do is block at least 2 people and give the ball to Derrick Henry. If you block those 2 guys, he'll get you at least 4 yards.
I think you're giving this guy too much credit.
Derrick Henry?
No. I'm talking about the play calling.
I don't think you have to do anything fancy with their play calling. You just give the ball to Derrick Henry. That's what I'm saying.
He might not be that smart.
Yeah, okay, sure. Like if he's like absolutely, just a jackass and decides, well, I have this fucking stallion racehorse in my fucking backfield. I'm just not Ryan Tannehill, by the way. Derrick Henry, obviously. I thought that was.
I think that's a possibility, Chad.
I don't know. Because he's got I don't think that's gonna be the case because look, like you said, think about that one season with Oakland, right?
They were bad. And their offense was not the same.
I thought you said he was the coordinator the year they went to the playoffs.
No, they went 12-4. Bill Musgrave was the offensive coordinator. They fired him. The following year, they promoted Todd Downing. Todd Downing led the Raiders team that was 6-10, and they fired him. And now he's the same guy that's now running the Titans offense.
Okay. That's I guess concerning, but I it's hard to fuck up the Titans offense though. I know it's like a child could run that offense. Just give the ball to Derrick Henry. I don't know.
I know.
But if he's that bad, I mean, maybe you take some play call. I don't think it's gonna be like, I don't think it's you would literally have to show up to work and actively be like, you know what?
Let me ask you this.
No. This is what you would, if he wanted to fuck up this offense, he would literally have to show up to work and be like, you know what? This NFL offensive coordinator thing, you know what? I'm kind of over it. I'm just gonna be really, really bad and throw the ball 90% of the snaps.
Let me ask you this, Chad. Would Doug Peterson give the ball to Derrick Henry?
Probably not. But I think you don't bring.
You know that guy loves to throw the ball. He ain't giving it. Doug Peterson ain't giving the ball to Derrick Henry. No shot.
Probably not. Andy Reid. I mean, people can learn from their mistakes. Give Doug the benefit of the doubt. Andy Reid. I mean, he tries to make an effort to run the ball, like in Kansas City now.
I'm just saying. I think there's a real crash and burn here scenario. I don't know that it'll happen, but I do want to point out the possibility that I do think there's a real big crash and burn scenario here with the Titans.
I mean, that's like, anything can happen. Like, yeah, it happen that this guy shows up and completely forgets how to be an NFL offensive coordinator? Yes.
I don't know if he knows how to be.
Dude, just give him the fucking...
I think there's a chance this guy that was coaching the Titans these past 2 years is fucking brilliant.
So let's do this. We're gonna get him a copy of Madden 2021. Not the new one, because obviously it might be a different playbook. Get him a copy of Madden 2021 and just get him to ask Madden on every play. And then he can't fuck up. It'll be great. Right?
Can I ask you this? I know you're a big Julio Jones guy. I was a big Julio Jones guy forever. I had him in fantasy for like 7 years in a row. But I don't think he's quite the same. And if you gave me the option of Julio Jones versus Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis, I don't know that there's a gap. I think Jonnu Smith is a huge loss.
I'm not giving up on the Julio train. Look, I mean, outside of when he gets injured, Julio is still getting yards. Like,
he
maybe
gets injured all the time.
But that's the problem. You got to play the injuries. Everybody gets injured, man. That's the only issue with Julio is, like, if he can stay healthy, he's gonna get you at least 10 fantasy points. He's gonna have 100 yards during the course of the game.
That's a big part of it, though. We don't know which guy we're getting.
Well, I mean, the best ability is availability. But
Chad, who is the Titans? Who is the Titans tight end? That was a mouthful.
They signed. Didn't they sign somebody? They didn't. I don't know. I thought they signed a white guy. I don't remember what his name was.
Their tight end is a guy from Harvard, Anthony Ferkser. He's a nobody.
He's a smart guy. He'll know. He'll be able to read the defenses.
The tight end position is a big part of his offense because of Derrick Henry, and they can run those bootlegs. And Jonnu Smith was going off at certain points during last year. I think it's a huge loss to not have a trustable tight end in this offense.
It is. I definitely think that that's something that can hurt them. I mean, Jonnu Smith, he's a great, like you said, he's a great tight end. But I mean, shit happens. Didn't they drafted a guy? Like they took a 4th round tight end, didn't they?
I don't believe so. I could be wrong.
I thought they did. Let's see, Tennessee.
I don't want to say they have no shot because, I mean, they have guys. You could give the ball to Derrick Henry 30 times a game, you'll probably win 9 games. But I'm terrified that this team goes like 5-12, and we're sitting here like, what the fuck happened? Well, we kind of know what happened.
Okay. No, it doesn't look like they drafted a tight end. They took a couple of receivers.
They did not take a tight end. That's another like. There's too many like.
Oh, I think they're still going to be a playoff team. I think depending on
I don't know that's true.
I think depending on the Colts, they're probably going to win the division. But I mean,
You think the Titans are winning the division?
unless it's the Colts,
I think the Colts are going to win the division.
I think for me it depends on who plays quarterback, though.
I'll take Indianapolis regardless.
I think if you get Carson Wentz led Colts team, for the majority of the season, I mean, again, as of right now, Schefter said the other day he's not ruled out week 1. I still think, hoping him to come back week 1, 2. I think that's still kind of. I mean, I guess there's a chance for it. I think that's kind of, stretching it a little bit, maybe rushing him back. But I think Carson comes back week 3, and I think if he comes back week 3, Colts are a lock.
I'm just saying this. I don't want to say I don't care how long he's out, but I almost don't care how long he's out. I think Jacob Eason is good.
I mean, it would be hard for Jacob Eason not to have at least a decent season, even if he's not great.
I don't think see.
For me with the Colts,
you're putting me in these spots, man.
For me with the Colts, it's like their offensive line is so good. It's almost hard not to be a good quarterback in that system.
Which helps because his downfall is he's not very mobile.
Right.
But I don't think they have good weapons.
Right. I mean,
I really don't.
Their running back situation is okay. Jonathan Taylor, again, I'm still a little bit skeeved out by him because of his workload in college. Who's the other guy they have?
He's got fumbling issues too. And he can't really catch.
Who's the other guy they have at running back?
Marlon Mack.
I mean, he can be good, but he's not he has his ceiling is lower than what Jonathan Taylor's is. He's good, but he's not the potential that Taylor has when if he's not gonna be injured is a lot better than what Marlon Mack is gonna be.
Nyheim Hines is a weapon.
Yeah, but that's the problem. All of their weapons are in the backfield.
Yes, they don't.
Let's take one of those draft picks and hit a fucking wide receiver. Why don't we?
I think Pittman can play, but I don't think he's a number 1. T.Y. Hilton's a little washed up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hilton's kind of like a wild card. You're shooting dice with T.Y. Hilton. Am I gonna be good today? Oh, guess not. So I mean, that's fair.
I don't know.
Even when we did the draft show, I said that I would like to see the Colts get a weapon for. I mean, obviously, then the expectation was,
and they didn't. They really didn't.
Right, we get a weapon for Carson, and they were like, "Fuck that." I mean, but their defense. I think their defense is also really good. I mean, so I'll rephrase what I said before. Without Carson as the quarterback, I think they have their fair shot to win it. They have their fair shot, but I think
Eason can play. I don't necessarily know he's a $100 million franchise quarterback waiting in the wings, but I think he can play.
I don't think he's going to be worse than Tannehill. I mean,
he might be worse than Tannehill, but he's not as athletic, not close. But he's got a fucking rocket.
But that's what I'm saying. When I look at Tannehill, he's at best, Tannehill is an average quarterback. In the right system, can Tannehill be better than average? Obviously, we saw it last year, yes. But I mean, at the end of the day, Tannehill, every player, he has his ceiling, and his ceiling is barely above average.
Jacob Eason's got a fucking hose.
Yeah, but that being said, I mean, mobility issues.
Yeah, he's got mobility.
Just because you got a cannon, that doesn't mean you're going to connect with the wide receiver. We'll have to see how accuracy works. We're going to have to see what is you could say his football IQ is. Where is he going to be making the right plays? Is he going to be throwing it to the right receiver, or is he going to be throwing into triple coverage because he tries to trust his arm too much? Who knows? Haven't really seen him play in the NFL.
Right, but I think he can play.
So like I said, I think Easton is the starting quarterback. They have a chance to win the division. I still think Tennessee's going to come away with it, but I don't think the Colts will be too far off. But I think if you put Carson at that starting quarterback for the majority of the season, I think it's not even close. I think the Colts run away with the division.
Do we have to waste any time on Jacksonville and Houston?
I guess for Jacksonville, just leave it at this. this is a year to get Trevor Lawrence accustomed to the NFL and you know, try to get a better draft pick for next year. Houston just
Jacksonville would be my pick to win the division next year.
I think we'd have to see what they do, but yeah, I guess that could be possible. Man, if only they didn't fucking fall off against Pittsburgh that one year in the playoffs. And they came out and they said we're going to stomp the Steelers.
With Houston, though, we can't even talk about him until we know what's going on with Watson. Whether he's traded, whether he's playing, whether he's suspended.
I mean, regardless, whatever happens, I don't think it's going to matter much. They're not going to be a good team. So, like, okay, they trade Watson, division preview, they're still going to be the last place team. They keep Watson. They'll get a couple extra wins just because of how good he is, but they're still going to be the last place team.
Yes, correct. So I will go Indianapolis, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Houston.
I'm going Tennessee, Indy, Jacksonville, Houston, but
you're on the Titans division winners.
But like I said, if depending on who's the quarterback, I would move the Colts ahead of the Titans. It depends on.
I have a $10 bet with Cam Moose on. I have the Colts.
Okay.
Just pointing it out.
I'm just like I would make a bet, but like I said, for me it depends on the quarterback. If we find out that Wentz isn't going to start playing until like I don't know week 8, then I would bet you that the Titans are going to win.
I'll take him regardless.
But if Carson comes in week 2, week 3, week 4, I'm all in on the Colts train.
All right.
I feel like you're discrediting the Tennessee Titans way too much. They were a playoff team last year.
Things change fast in the NFL, Chad.
And last year the Colts were aggressively average. So
yes, but they didn't have an average record.
I don't care.
They were 11-5 last year. They didn't play like an 11-5 team.
Well, yeah, they squeaked out some wins that maybe they shouldn't have, but yeah, exactly.
Like that win they had against Green Bay was ridiculous. They should have never won that game.
Yeah. They I forget who they were playing, but they had another game where they were down in the fourth quarter and Jonathan Taylor literally the 2-minute drill ran like half the field by himself. Like they ran the ball in the 2-minute drill and they were losing the game. I don't know how that happens. And you give up the field goal and lose because of that. I don't remember who they played.
Yeah. And they played Buffalo tough. They almost beat Buffalo in that playoff game.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think, like I said, I think they run away with it if Carson's the quarterback. If not, they have a shot, but I'd still take Tennessee.
All right. NFC South. Is it just Tampa to repeat? Don't have to think about it.
No, Carolina Panthers. No, just kidding.
You know what's funny? You're gonna not pick Carolina and they'll win it.
I guarantee you they do. No, you know what, dude? I think you gotta go Tampa. I don't know. They won the Super Bowl. They brought back the exact same team. Like I don't think they lost anybody. No. As far as starters are concerned, they maybe lost a backup or something. I don't even know, but they're bringing back a Super Bowl winning team. As long as that defense stays aggressive and they get to the quarterback,
they're nasty.
It's like Aaron Rodgers had to like basically pull the fucking game out of his ass to even be close. And then their coach fucked it up by kicking a field goal instead of going for it.
They're nasty.
They could easily repeat Super Bowl.
They're nasty. They're nastier on the defensive side of the ball.
I don't know how you beat them. Just like don't get sacked, which is like really hard to do. That's like.
Can I say this? I think they're more vulnerable than you're saying right now. I don't disagree. I will take Tampa, but I think they're more vulnerable than you think they do. Than you think they are.
Well, Bowles is coming back, right? And
Yeah.
And then their offensive coordinator, did he change or he's the same?
Still Byron Leftwich.
I said this last year. I don't know if Byron was calling plays, but there were times where he was sending in the game plan, and it was like guys were just wide fucking open. Like the fucking plays, like Tom Brady could have closed his fucking eyes and thrown the ball. It was so open.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. I'm actually putting this into Slack right now because they asked me who would I would hire. I forgot about Leftwich. He did a fucking fantastic job. I did interview him right now.
Did he get an interview? How did he not?
No, he didn't.
Dude, I don't know how he doesn't get it. Well, I guess I can imagine how Byron didn't get an interview, but it's a travesty. That's for certain.
Okay, I put it in the Slack so I remember.
Yeah. I mean,
are we gonna 100% rule the Saints out?
I wouldn't say 100%.
Can I make my case for New Orleans even if I don't necessarily believe it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they split last year. Well, until the playoffs anyway.
They beat the fuck out of them in that one game. No, actually, no. They didn't split with them last year. New Orleans won both games and they lost the playoff game.
That's what it was, yeah. I mean,
they won both regular season games.
I mean, the Buccaneers, they certainly have their issues because, I mean, they almost lost to Tyler Heineke, so it's not like they're perfect.
Let me make my case for New Orleans. I think Winston's a quarterback upgrade over what Drew Brees gave them last year.
Are we sure it's going to be Winston?
No.
Do you trust Taysom Hill?
No.
Who would you prefer, Taysom Hill or Drew Brees?
Brees.
Okay. So let's say they pick Taysom to start. He gets an injury, right? Week 2, he goes down. He's done for the season. Now it's Winston's starting job. Do you still pick them? Because remember, this is a guy that couldn't beat Taysom Hill during camp to get the starting job. Because they're in open competition right now.
Well, Hill has been in the system a little bit longer. Got to point that out. I mean, a lot longer. He knows the playbook.
Game recognized game. Sean Payton's going to pick the best player, I feel like.
But we also are forgetting this offseason, Jameis Winston, LASIK eye surgery. He can see now.
He got that 2 years ago.
No. That was this offseason.
I thought that was like 2 years ago he got it.
No, he just got it. Because he just turned 25 and you're not supposed to get it before you turn 25.
Who was it? There was some. Oh, was it Russell Wilson that said he got it maybe a couple years ago?
I don't know.
Oh, either way.
Winston can see now. We might be getting a really good Jameis Winston. I mean, that's a big deal.
I mean, that joke is fun and all, but the jerseys are color-coded. It's not like they're wearing the same colors.
Big deal, though. Can see now.
I don't know. I mean,
again, I will say this. I 100% believe he is an upgrade over what Breeze gave them last year. Breeze was fucking worthless. He couldn't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. It was Kamara.
And the funny thing about what you just said is those weren't all runs. There's a lot of passes mixed in there.
Yeah. That's the only thing they could do. I think they can at least throw the ball now.
Like I said, man, the Buccaneers are not going to be perfect. I mean, the problem with like their defense is they're so aggressive, you can catch them easily. But I mean, their game plans are usually good enough where, you know, they can get away with the aggressiveness. But like I said, against Washington, they got caught a couple times by Tyler Heineke. Aaron Rodgers a little bit had them figured out at the end of that playoff game. So
I mean, if Aaron Jones doesn't fumble and it's brought back to the house, they probably win.
If they went for it on fourth down at the end of the game, they might have won.
If Kevin King doesn't give up a 35-yard touchdown where he's playing like a fucking slapdick in the end zone to Scotty Miller, beats him over the top, they probably win.
Oh, yeah, right before halftime. I forgot about that one.
It was what, like 5 seconds left or something? There was no time left.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown that killed him.
Yeah, that's fair. So like I said, I mean, they're definitely beatable. And, I mean, Sean Payton, he's a great coach. Like,
Can I make it?
Dial stuff up. So
can I make another case?
Yeah.
I'll put this one at like 5-10%. Your guys, the Carolina Panthers, I'm now in on them. I wasn't in on them last year. I wasn't in on them 2 years ago. Wasn't in on before that. I'm now in on them.
Because of Darnold.
Not just that. This is now year 2 of Matt Rule. We know what I've been saying this for a long time. That guy's a program builder. He goes to Temple. They suck. They sucked the first year. Next year, boom, 10 wins. He goes to Baylor. They suck. First year, they really suck. Next year, boom, 10 wins. Carolina. First year in Carolina, they suck. Second year is what we're going to see right now. He's got a little bit of a track record. I think he's I think their defense is sneaky good, Chad. 2 years ago, they used every single pick on defense. A lot of those picks have worked. Brian Burns is turning into a stud. Derek Brown was a huge hit. Monster defensive tackle. McCaffrey wasn't really healthy all last year. They get Darnold.
I'm not going to get suckered into this again.
I'm buying into him.
I think they might be a playoff team. I'll give you that. I don't think they're going to win the division. It's more likely to me that the Saints or the Bucks win it than it would be for what's it called? Carolina to win it.
I'm buying into them.
I would give them a shot at playoffs, not to win the division. If I'm going my division winner, I'm going with the Bucks. Because I think the coordinator combo they have, the defense being as good as it is, I mean, they have so many good wide receivers. They're going to be hard to beat. Like, you will 100% have to play a perfect game against you'd have to play a perfect game against
their defense, Todd Bowles, Devin White, who are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm just drawing a blank. You would have to play a perfect game against the Bucks in order to beat them. Like on a special. Like again, I just got distracted for a second. It just shut my whole brain down. Apparently, special teams would have to be perfect. Defense, offense, everything would have to be perfect. Because like I said, you can catch them on defense because they're so aggressive, but you have to make the right call at the right time. Otherwise, they're gonna get you.
Any faith in the Atlanta Falcons?
No, they gotten worse.
Probably.
Like, they were bad. Now they're worse. Like, I mean,
I think they have a head coaching upgrade. They're just not very talented.
They'll have guys that'll do you good in fantasy, but that's about it.
Ridley.
I still wouldn't.
You have Matt Ryan. You have Matt Ryan. You better hope for a good Matt Ryan year.
Do I have Matt Ryan?
You do. You do have Matt Ryan.
I almost forgot I had it. But no, I think Matt Ryan, fantasy wise, especially like if you're in like a league that you don't get penalized for the interceptions, like you don't lose points when you intercept the ball or throw an interception. I think Matt Ryan's a good fantasy quarterback to have. He usually will score between 15, 20 points for you. So
their defense is bad.
Very bad. Yeah. Not really anybody on their defense who I would want. And the Eagles aren't very good, so.
Tampa. I will go Carolina second. New Orleans, Atlanta.
I kind of thought you would go New Orleans second because you were kind of you're like, talking them up so much.
I'm tempted to go Carolina first. That's how much I like them. I
wouldn't go Carolina first. I would go I I would agree. I would go Tampa. Well, not agree, but go Tampa, New Orleans, Carolina, Falcons.
I'm a little worried about the thing that really hesitates me on the Saints is I'm really worried about this Michael Thomas thing has kind of come up. Now he's not going to play because he's hurt, and he kind of wants out. Chad, who the fuck are their receivers? And they lost Jared. They lost Jared Cook this offseason. Right now they're rolling out Adam Trotman, Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith. That's their starting weapons right now.
I don't know. I think with Thomas missed a whole lot of, he missed almost half the season last year anyway.
Yeah.
And they still made the playoffs.
Now they lost Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook too.
I think Sean Payton's good enough where like he'll find ways.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against Sean Payton.
Yeah. I think he can find ways where he'll get Alvin Kamara the ball with Alvin Kamara can just do what he does best and just get yards, easily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll depend on the quarterback, but Jameis will do some things for him. I mean, Taysom Hill, he'll be there. Maybe, I don't know. I would definitely say if Taysom Hill's the quarterback, maybe I go Carolina too. But like I said, I think Carolina can make the playoffs easily.
All right, Chad. Good episode. Unless you have anything else to add.
Trying to think. No. We talked about some good site stuff. Communication is key.
Very key.
Yeah, I think it's good. Any last thoughts you have, Trey, on anything? Either one of the divisions? Preview for next week?
Nope.
Although next week we're just going to finish up with the AFC and NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So that tears it. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Go ahead and you can donate and get your prize or whatever that you get for it. I don't know what the tiers are off the top of my head, but if you go to Patreon and check it out, you'll see what they are. What else? Don't forget to check out our Twitter, Vendetta_media. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Follow Trey on Twitter, at Trey Daubert. Follow me at Lowfooted. You can also check out our merch store where you see me and Trey have these classy Vendetta shirts on. Trey's got the black.
Yeah, I do.
And the logo. I got the orange and the blue logo. So go ahead and check out the merch store. Jamie will fix it up and send it over to you. What else? We have
promo code. There's a promo code on this site, by the way, if you order something.
Yes. I don't know if we have our own promo code, but I use cheese.
Yes. There you go.
I don't know if there's any other promo codes out there.
That's the only one.
Okay. So promo code cheese. I think it takes like $5 off the order. Something.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
If you use the promo code, you'll see it. So I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
What else? Also, speaking of promo codes, if you go over to monkeyknifefight.com and you want to place some bets on the upcoming NFL season, I'm sure they have all kinds of prop bets. Maybe, put your Super Bowl picks in now or something like that. Monkey Knife Fight with code Vendetta, they will give you a $100 match, or they'll match up to $100. Whatever you put in. So if you put in 1,000, they'll match 100. If you put in 100, you'll get 100% match. We also have Symbol. Go trade stocks on your favorite sports teams, NBA, NFL, MLB, college football, stuff like that. Code Vendetta, that will get you a $10 credit, I think.
For which one?
Symbol.
Yes.
So $10 credit for Symbol if you use code Vendetta. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.